All right, so day 2, we're going to start working on the Troffers. So what we're doing is laying out all these ZRs. It gets a little complicated because of the lift and how big these darn brackets are. Giant. They're like 7 inches deep, and so having to figure out where they go. We're not going to be able to have symmetry in this garage because of the attic stairs. And so you can see we're kind of laying them out here on the floor just to get an idea of where it might make sense to put them. So we have 9 2x4s and 2 2x2s that we're working on here. So the one thing we're going to figure out is maybe an issue. You see how big that freaking box is? The box is giant. I don't think there's any way we could modify it to make it thinner. I mean, I don't see why they need to make that box so big. I mean, how big is that darn thing? Yeah, that's 5.5 inches. I think our other lights, so I guess our other lights are probably 4 and change. But it's so dumb, that doesn't need to be that big. It needs to be like 3 inches, 3.5 inches. No, this is designed. This is the on-ceiling bracket. So there's a different drop ceiling bracket, and there's a different in-ceiling, like a drywall grid bracket. They actually sell a bracket where you could recess these in the drywall. We can't do that here because we don't have the proper truss design. Plus, we want the lights to go this way instead of that way. The thing that's really incredible, though, is how easy and simple the Vive system is to do. To control the lights wirelessly with a little Pico remote. And that's 5 little baby fixtures. Wait till we got 11 of these flamethrowers. So these are 3150 lumens each. These are 8,000. So the thing that stinks is I'd ordered the 90 plus CRI fixtures. These are the 80 plus CRI fixtures. So the good news is we're going to test out the lower quality lights in my garage. The bad news is we're testing out the lower quality lights in my garage. We want to be centered on not the expansion joint, but on the wall. So it's going to have to come this way.
You want the center of this?
I want the center of the light on this. We did the air handler before Perry showed up and said, hey, let's move the old electrical panel. No big deal. Well, now I got an off-centered air handler, and there's a 4-inch hole in the wall, so we're screwed.
Yeah, that is a little bit of an eyesore.
No, you're supposed to say, it's not bad. Everybody's...
For symmetry.
Yeah, well. Let's see how we offset. We push those 2 back a little, and then these forward a little bit. Guess what I found out yesterday? The cabinets that they built are 1/4 inch too short to fit a plate. So our cabinets over there are not deep enough, so I can't fit a plate in it. So they have to rip them all off the wall and redo them. Freaking unbelievable. No, there's a plate is a standard size. Like every plate throughout history is the same size. Well,
they built it for different plates.
That's what they're standing there like waiting for me to just say it's okay. I'm like, no. But I tell you what, that quality of light here, you can just tell.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell the difference between this and some jank, Home Depot fixture.
Oh, yeah.
Even like the lights here versus like the little basic ones we put up in the attic.
Yeah.
Just a different quality of light. So what we're hoping is that on the lighting, so I've got some serious shadowing coming down on the face of the cabinet. So I think the ZRs with their pattern, being where we're putting it, I think that the ZRs are going to solve that problem here and really give us appropriate light. But what I wanted these lights inset so that way I got good quality light all across the cabinet. We're going to learn some lessons on this garage in order to help us figure out the next garage.
Go ahead and mark it real quick with a black magic marker.
I'm going to have to sell this house and buy one down the street and redo it all again. So think about it. Think about if the center of the car is here, You know, the roof is a limiting factor, and you're never working on the hood with the hood open. In a garage like this, you have to make sure when you're lifting the car, the hood is going to have to be down. Unlike HQ, we can go all the way up because we got a 16-foot ceiling, but most of the time in here, I'm going to be working on, you know, detailing the car anyway, changing tires and changing wheels. You know, I think they make a 1x2, so that could be cool.
Yeah, on.
You notice that there's not really any light here, is there? Some, but there's a light that's out here. It's not going to cover the top of the car.
Holy cow. How many are you going to put in here?
11.
We're going to have to make them demoable.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about coverage over the most important part of the whole garage, which is right smack in the middle here. So I'm going to kick this sucker reasonably far in.
Okay.
So we came off the wall at 64 there.
Yes.
I wonder if it's going to make more practical sense to do linear fixtures in garages. We're going to try a bunch of linear fixtures at the at HQ. You know, in garages where we're retrofitting like this. It's just a huge box. But boy, does it look fancy. Looks like it looks a lot more complete than the other lights that we have that are the high bay fixtures. Let's put the ends on it. I think the backsplash is going to darken up the room a little bit. I'll add a little bit of warmth to the room. And then, of course, we'll have speakers,
Yeah, see, each one of these we take
center
out
channel.
and drill our hole.
Remember, we have another light in the corner going there. These stairs are going to be painted, so it'll lighten that up a bit.
They should be able to.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah, so the beauty of having, you know, the way this is going to work, the beauty of having the Pico is that I can then bring these down. Let's say I'm hanging out in here, it's a little too bright, I can bring down down to about, I think the Pico's, the Vive system is going to allow us to come down to like, I think it's 20%. I don't know if we can get to 5%. Harry, do you remember what these, are these dimmable down to 5 with the Pico, with the Vive system? Or I think it might be 20.
What it goes down to?
Yeah.
0.
Right, but I mean, I think they're like, it jumps from 0 to 20 or something like that. I don't think it.
No, I don't think so. I think it dims all the way to 0.
Because that's maximum dim.
It's just the light
Right.
itself will stop at about 10%,
Right.
but it's not the dimmer itself.
So that light is quite a bit softer than you think. What I might end up doing is we'll see what the shadowing situation looks like. We can always supplement with some more KRs if we need to.
You know why an electrician dies of a heart attack and stroke more than anybody else?
Right.
They work with their hands over their heads most of the day.
It's not eating racetrack pizza every day. That's not it.
That's right.
It's not from going and drinking the 32-ounce coffee, a bunch of Mountain Dew all day, and
Oh boy, that helps.
never working out because you're too tired at the end of the day. Can that be it? So where are we at, Mr. Perry? What do you got? Anything change?
Well,
Just making it more production based where you're
I
doing.
don't like this portion of the layout. This is kind of funny.
You don't like it?
I'm just wondering what you think of it. Because we staggered this, and it almost looks like we shouldn't have.
Yeah, this one needs to come back.
Yeah.
All right, so that one, and this one over here are going to be closer to the back.
Yeah,
We move this up. We move this one up for the lift. So yeah, we don't want those on the same line, I don't think.
okay.
I think we want those
Okay.
because this one is going to have to be back because of the door. And then it'll make that one look less weird.
Okay.
This one's staggered in. So this one's in the right spot. And then if that one is moved back, then it doesn't look like it's encroaching on
Yeah.
that territory.
That'll look much better.
And so we got to put this light at the same distance. Shoot, are we going to be able to do that? This freaking stupid garage door. We might have to wait on this light. I'm saying,
Because of the
because of this.
garage door?
You know what I'll probably have to do in the future? I'll probably get some more recessed. I'll get some more recessed lights and do 2 of them up in this little pocket here. We'll see how this lights up this spot. So this area is good from a lighting perspective, right? And so we really only need a light from here. So we really only need, so that's why I was thinking we put one of the small ones right in the middle here to illuminate this, you know, this area. And then I was thinking, well, we could take this small and switch it and do 2 big ones here. I may just get a couple of recessed for in here. If this becomes a dead spot, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I've got your plywood.
I probably won't. I mean, these should be able to, this should be decently lit here, I think.
Yeah, it might be a dead, well, it's going to be lit up real well, but it still could be a bit of a dead zone for cameras.
Yeah, I knew that when you're doing all these attic lifts and all that crap, it messed up our potential for symmetry. I was hoping we'd have the garage doors by now.
How many lights you say you're putting in here?
Isn't it 11?
11.
No. I think it's got to go out here.
Out that way?
Centered on this wall here. We blew up all of symmetry anyway, so I think if we do that, and then we do the long one down here to match that one.
All right.
Yeah, because the main purpose of this one is to get my pressure washer illuminated for future videos. And the light comes down like this. Since we have no symmetry and it's just rando crazy. Aha! Real man here, Perry. You better get that on camera.
Nice.
They might be.
We're not in Kansas. Okay, the center of this space is right here.
Yeah.
So if we put the lights going this way,
Yeah.
going this way, just like that one is.
Yep.
This one will end up over here to the rails,
Yep.
and over here this way.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, because this is back further than this thing.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause if we're coming here, gosh, we got a freaking hodgepodge of lights on the ceiling. So each light fixture is going to get Cat 6 or Cat 5. I'm just using Cat 5 as a control wire. 0 to 10 volt control, so that'll be how we dim it. And then obviously they'll be daisy chained together with high voltage. How does he do that? It just hurts me just thinking about it. All right, so high voltage is coming in one side.
High voltage coming in one side, then we have our Cat 5, which should come in on the opposite end.
And the Cat 5 serves as our 0 to 10 volt.
Yeah, it serves, I believe, that as your dimmer also. It controls your dimmer.
Yeah. So you're going black to black, white to white.
Yep,
What's
black
the-
to
what's-
black,
what's the
white to
yellow?
white.
Yellow
What's the
ground?
Yellow and green, yes.
Now all these lights we can run on one circuit. 0.9, we've got
11, no.
yeah.
Yeah, you're up to your 5. Connecting, you always go ground first. Neutral second. And hot last.
I actually did that when I installed Ryan's light for the first time in my life. I always did black first.
Going the other way around,
Yeah.
taking power off, you go black first.
Yeah.
Putting it on, it's a safety thing. If you always take off power first, then the other 2 lines will be safe.
Yeah.
If you put power last, then the other 2 lines will be safe.
We learned that on our last video. And so now, in order to make sure that these all stay connected properly, we just have to use the same colors.
Yes. Sorry.
Just using Cat 5 as a control, and we're just picking 2 colors, putting them together.
Pick any 2 colors and just keep them consistent throughout the whole job. So, positive.
Yeah, there's a solid 2.5 inches of excess space in there.
Absolutely. And then we'll go ahead and lock them in and put end caps on.
Yeah.
And if you notice there's separation in here, that keeps the high voltage away from the low voltage. The low voltage and high voltage can't be in the same box. If this wire right here was rated at 600 volts, it could be mixed in this box as long as it was tagged that it was low voltage and this was high voltage. But since this is low voltage and we're using a Cat 5e wire, these have to be separated to meet code.
So that 0 to 10 volt isn't adding on a whole heck of a lot of complication. Pretty simple.
No, not really, because let's say if you wanted to take a dimmer and put it on the wall, you got 1,000 watts. That's what you can dim. So if you take this 0 to 10, you can dim 100 of these.
Yeah.
You know, with one dimmer. So you could never do that with a wall dimmer.
Got it.
So that's the difference. So we use them in schools and churches and things like that because you may have a whole hallway that you got to dim. So.
And then show them how it sits up in that channel there.
Okay.
After you put the.
Okay, so we're going to put the cap on later,
Yeah.
but I just want to show you putting this up here. So we use this to support this when we did our installation. Basically, it sits right here on this track here. And what you got to do is 45 it in there. And it just sits like that. That's really not strong though until you put the end caps on it. You know, to keep it from moving out.
You're getting ahead of me. What are you doing up here?
We're ganging up all these lights into one box.
Okay.
And then we're going to put that module on it. That's what he's preparing down there, is that box with the module on it.
Gotcha.
And so that's what will control the lights.
The Vive module. And we only need one module for all the lights.
One module for the 8,000 watters.
So that module goes in line between the, I guess the Pico's wireless, so it goes in line between the breaker and the bank of lights, right?
Yes, yeah, that's what it does. You can put a switch on it ahead of it, but what we're going to do is take the switch leg that used to feed the garage lights,
Yep.
and we'll go ahead and kill it there. We'll just wire nut it together so it feeds it hot all the time. and then we'll use that module up here to go ahead and switch that, plus we'll use that for the 0 to 10 volt dimming on it.
Got it.
So, but all that'll be up here. So
Yeah, and we'll show everybody what that
one
looks like.
module up here. That's the one module you have up here. We'll have a module over there. And, the other module is going to actually be inside of your switch bank down there, because that's going to be the forward dimming one that is not 0 to 10 dimming, which is your under counter lights.
Got it.
So. And then we're going to have to split these, that zone up right there, the two right over your TV,
Yeah.
and then we'll put that module in here too. We'll probably put a bigger box. What we'll probably do.
Got it.
So that's getting pretty full.
So those are all your 10 volt
Yes, sir.
wires.
There's all 10 volt coming from the field. This is my feed in, and this is my jumper across.
So explain that to me. How does the feed come in? It goes from light to light, right?
One comes from each light.
Yeah.
That's why we have so many here. Then we have the feed off of the module.
Oh, so we don't daisy chain the lights like we do with the.
We normally would, but this application was
It's
easier.
to just run a.
One each one.
And then you're just gonna twist the colors together.
Marry all the colors together, yes.
And that doesn't have to go in a box because it's low voltage.
Low voltage. But I will tuck it up under here and staple it to the side just to keep this bundle up off.
Can you show me how that Vive controller went in that box?
Okay,
So you did the same thing with our. So this is all the lights going into one box, right?
all the lights coming into one box here. This box will get screwed off here,
Yeah.
and it'll sit like this with a blank cover. And then our low voltage comes out this side.
And the black went into the black bus there, right? And
Yeah,
the-
black with black, whites with whites, yes.
And yellow to copper. You just screw it. You just wire nut them all together.
Wired on them all together, yep.
Got it. Simple. And they're gonna hold the button down to program the Pico, and we're good to go.
Yep.
So there's no switch. There's no switch leg that we have to run back to the switch.
No,
It's all wireless.
all
So
wireless.
that's what's cool about this thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely makes it worth it.
And then this Cat 5 connection will go into the Vive.
We'll go into right here, yes. Once I get this box secured, I'll bring the Cat 5 up here and feed what I have in my hand here, and it'll distribute it out.
Got it.
All right, we got some lights on. I guess I don't have to worry about any dead spots, huh? We were worried at the top of the car would be not very well lit. All our shadowing went away. Yeah, this is freaking legit. So the quality of light is much, much different than anything we've ever experienced, but the thing that I'm not super enthused about is the size of those enclosures. They're so freaking big. But the part we were worried about right here, this spot being dark, I'm not gonna worry about that. So the front face of the cabinets, all that shadowing went away. What do you think, Chase? A little bright? Everything there looks good. Our pressure washer is gonna be well lit. All right, so they're gonna close up all the lights, putting the end caps on. So we're gonna put all the caps together. Got the whole crew here again. We got the Pico set up, so we have control of the lights now. Set it down somewhere, I don't know what to do with it. Right here. So we take the Pico, and I can dim the fixtures down, turn them off, turn them on. It's pretty sick.
All right, so you're putting in the secondary Vive, which would be for the second zone of the TV lights, right? The one that's
Yes,
above the TV,
yes.
but we can't really program it because I have to wait I need another Pico.
Okay. So
Because I only have 2 Picos, we need 3 Picos, right?
But we can put it onto the one Pico. Yeah, it'll take it.
Well, how do you control two separate zones from one pico? You press the little
It's
button
just
in the
no,
middle.
it's going to control it as one.
Right.
But when you get the
until
second pico, then we can separate them.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
And then the part of the Vive system, we have that little motion sensor thing that doesn't need any wire. It just communicates, I believe. It communicates.
Which
wirelessly.
wireless sensor?
It's the motion sensor.
Okay, for the pico? Or for here? For this one here? Coming up the stairs.
So the wireless or the motion sensor would be for the pico setup. So we have one.
Yeah, that's going to be a wireless. That'll be, it's got that 10-year lithium battery in it.
So on that, we were going to program it to turn on the whole row of backlights
Okay.
when the garage door opens. Because I figured if we had that set up on the main light, you haven't seen it down there, and frickin' blind you. Like you come home at night, you don't want the whole thing on because you won't be able to see.
Okay.
I feel like you just looked into the sun.
That's good. Got what you want out of that deal.
Well, we were worried about a little bit of shadowing in the center.
No.
No.
Little suntan in the center.
You need sunblock down there.
Yeah, we don't gotta worry about that. So that's cool. I'll be easily be able to access these Vives that are just sitting right here if I ever need to reprogram. So we have 3 of those. One for the 2 lights in the middle here that are above the TV. One for the other 4 lights that are flanking the center of the room and the recess. And then one for the whole bank of 11 big lights.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Perry's getting her code all set up here in case the inspectors watch this video and come by and yell at us.
He will.
You don't need a permit for doing garage lights, do you?
I have a permit.
No. If you don't need it, if you...
Well, they claim if you alter a circuit, then you do need a permit.
Oh,
But they
jeez.
don't really enforce that.
Got it.
So.
Well, they will on my house.
They can't. We got a permit.
Yeah. So again, this Vive stuff is super simple. And my brain was hurting when Chris was explaining these 2 things to us, but man, it's easy.
Very simple.
That's a really good system.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everyone. This is it. Look how much bigger this place looks now that we can see what's going on. A couple of things of note. First, these lighting fixtures, you know, once they're up here and you're not nitpicking, they're pretty great. You know, they're a little too tall. They're 5.5 inches off the ceiling. And they really only need to be about 3 inches off the ceiling, which would make them look, you know, a whole lot better. Now, there are a bunch of other different Cree options as well, and we're going to explore those at OGHQ and some other places. I doubt we would even notice a difference. These are the low CRI version, which are 80 plus CRI. Now remember, don't get hung up on CRI because these are the best fixtures I've ever seen in my life. The quality of light in here, and I'm a bit of a nitpicker when it comes to, you know, flooring and lighting and wall colors and things like that. We haven't painted the walls yet in here, so the gray walls, the flat gray finished walls, will clean this up even more. But the fixture installation you saw was pretty straightforward. The 0 to 10 volt dimming is really pretty self-explanatory. The Vive wireless system, so hopefully we can become a Lutron dealer at some point, is really simple. You just hold the button down, hold the pico down, and it syncs. We'll make some more videos of that stuff as I, you know, get more familiar with it. We still have to do a little bit more work on setting up the picos in the wall, so we have to switch over to a 5-gang box or 5-gang switched setup. So we'll tackle that. And I also have this motion sensor that we're going to put in. I think I've made the executive decision to eliminate the corner light where we're going to have to cut the truss and re-web it and all of that stuff. There's no shadowing, so I don't think that's really necessary. But what I'm noticing here is it's really, really bright, but I'm not fatigued. And I think that comes with higher quality light output. I think that having it where you have 5000K, but really high quality, and not a lot of shadowing, makes it so that I don't feel fatigued. Now, I'll spend more time in here, but I think it's freaking fantastic. We'll get this zone in front of the TV set up so I can turn those off if I ever wanted to. We now have the under cabinet lights are dimmable, but Mr. Perry has to come back. We still have to wire up some other stuff here before it's all said and done. But yeah, I've got some more work to do. I don't think these are the definitive fixtures, these ZR Troffers, ceiling mounted version. I don't think this is the definitive choice for most garages. If your ceiling was lower, I don't think these are going to be the right fixtures. But we're off to a good start from a quality perspective. I think within the Cree universe, I think we're going to find a really solid set of lights. But I think that you know, for other normal garage applications where you don't have 10-foot ceilings, we're going to have to work on that a bit. So anyway, thanks for watching this lighting couple of episodes. More to come as we develop our full lighting suite. And more to come as we do HQ. I'm about to approve that lighting plan for there as well. So new yarn building will be getting new lighting as well as my offices and stuff at current HQ. So thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. Garage is coming together. Man, it looks good. Look at that.